Get the cake right to the side sex. Leave the fire and the roof styles stuff on the grind like we're chasing the stars. From Millmore to Do Valley, we've come so far. Talk about legends, yeah, we know the score. Ronnie and Bobby, we remember you more. From the highs of the Wembley fight to losing our trousers, still we ignite. Red and white with the pride, we're never gonna bow. Fighting like Miller men, hear the roar now. We're Miller men, we stand up tall. Through ups and downs, we give it all. From Millmore to Do Valley.
Good evening and welcome to our third instalment of Midweek Millers. I'm your host, David Besley, live on KB Terrace Talk. Another big, massive week coming up in the season of Rotherham United, and we'll discuss everything from Wilmbledon at home to Northampton at home to potential transfers that are due to come in. Let's go to the panel first. So, the voice of reason, Mr. Pete. How are you doing, sir?
All good, mate. All good.
Looking forward to the podcast as always.
Always, Paul. Yep. Positivity today.
Yeah, I got told you'd rush down for this, so cheers, Pete.
Yeah, I have.
Tom, ever reliable. Tom, how are you, son?
Yeah, really good, Dave. It's still pretty cold up this neck of the woods, but hey, listen, I think Pete's right. I think we should all be very positive tonight, and the person to my right-hand side should be very positive indeed. So, cheers, Dave.
And talking about your right-hand side, is here, look, the legend that is Adam. How are you doing, Adam? Have you recovered yet from that Saturday stream where you seem to have quite a lot of fun fighting all the comments off?
I know I had to take a few days off, but yeah, it was great. Great to have a good time on the podcast with all the guys.
Good, I'm glad to hear. Are you doing all right, Adam? Is everything okay?
Everything's okay, apart from just one quick one. Went down to, obviously got a Christmas gift. Went down to the Rotherham shop today, trying to get a nice hoodie or a nice tracksuit. There's nothing in size M or L. It's only small, XXL or 3XL. Absolutely nothing. No hoodies, no training kit at all. So usual. No marketing going off down there. So unfortunately, starting the pod on a negative note.
It's amazing, to be honest with you, because, you know, when I was a young lad, I remember my dad going to the shop, and if you didn't go at the exact right time, you won't get a shirt, you won't get this, you won't get that. I remember it being in that really small shop at Millmore, which turned into like a bar, and then it got moved to the left-hand side. And yeah, I don't think, you know, the best thing for me with calendars, you could never get a calendar like in November or December. But to be fair, since we have moved to New York, we've been able to get a calendar every single season. So I think they've improved, but as you were saying there, Adam, there's still issues.
There's still big issues.
Yeah, always are.
You know, the new beanies are released when Tongi posted it. They've all gone, not one of them. There's nothing, I don't know who's sorted marketing out there, but...
Well, it should be the
season.
It's
obviously, everyone wants to buy. They've all got the Christmas money, and 1st of January when it opens back up, and there's nothing in stock.
Adam, who are you buying a medium or a large for, pal?
Very good, something like that. Yeah. Before we get into it, let's just have a look at some of the comments. So, Tom, you posted this afternoon. A win will only do. I think you're right. Rotherham Gaming, red and white. Justin Miller, Millers, Romoff. Hey up, lads. All right, Romoff, how you doing, pal? Romoff again, give over that background, Adam. Yeah, we've already took Mick out of him, Romoff. There's only one, and that is Mr. Roddy Moore. So, yeah, don't worry. Hopefully this time next week you'll not have that on, because I'm sure we'll have gone. Dusty Millers, evening up the Millers. Yeah, evening, Dusty. Hope you're well, mate. King Bush, evening, lads. All right, Lee, how's that bed looking? We cannot accept anything but a win. And that brings me on to this week. Now, First of all, before we get into Wimbledon at home, I need to ask you all a question. How important is this week in this season, in the rest of this season for Rotherham, and also the future for Rotherham United? How important is it knowing we've got 3 games that are against teams who are all towards the bottom of the league, against teams who form-wise aren't very good? How important is it for this season? I'll start with you, Tom.
Well, do you know what I'm going to say, Bez, Pete, Adam? In a really surreal way, even though we've been getting beat, we've been focusing on this set of 3 games. Whereas to say, oh, it doesn't really matter what happens in these games, but those 3 games, they're the ones, which I think is an absolute loser mentality, to be honest with you. And to answer your question, Dave, I think yes, these next 3 games are probably the most important games. I think you maybe referred to this maybe last week or the week before as probably the biggest games since the Tony Stewart era began, to be honest with you. Yes, we're in the Championship. We were always expected to get beat or go down, right? We expected that as fans because we didn't have the budget. We've never been in a situation, as we are now, where 3 games could literally define our season. So these next 3 games are absolutely huge, and nothing less than 7 points, in my opinion, will do.
Okay, and you beat me too, actually. I was going to ask you, what's the minimum number of points returned do we need, but you've already answered that. Just quickly, and we will touch on Hamshaw a little bit later, but how many points, and I know we've had a conversation in our group earlier about Hamshaw's not close to being sacked, but how many points does Hamshaw need to keep his job, or do you think he's in the job regardless?
I watched his press conference yesterday, and it was not, and I think we said in the group chat before, it was not somebody who's just lost 8 games on the bounce. It wasn't. They asked the question, how are these players? They're all right. How are they? They're all right. Right? Okay. And it was like, I don't know. It was really surreal. It was, I suppose you don't want your manager to be going, oh, please don't ask me any questions. But at the same time, I mean, it just seems surreal. And listen, these 3 games will define Tony Stewart's era, in my opinion.
P, so again, same question to yourself. And do you agree with Tom? What are your thoughts on
I totally agree with Tom.
How big this week is? What's your thoughts?
Make or break season for me. At least 7 points. But I'm going for we'll get 9. I think we'll win all 3.
So you think we will win all 3 games?
Players are back, aren't they? So we can't make excuses now. Then we've got, obviously, players coming in. We should be looking up now instead of down. And I think we'll get 9.
Adam, do you agree with Pete?
I love Pete's confidence. And we should get 9. I mean, looking at the table, Wimbledon 17th, Northampton 21st. If we don't get two wins out of them, there's something really wrong. There's something really, really wrong. It's got to be 2 wins, obviously, Saturday and Tuesday, 2 home wins.
So if we got 6 points and lost the game against Exeter, would you be happy with that? Or do you think we need at least 7 points out of the 3?
Won't you just have a look at fixtures after Exeter?
We've got
Cardiff. Yeah, I think 6 points just to sort us out through this little sticky period. I mean, I lost to Exeter near top of league, so I'll accept 6.
Okay, fair enough. Just a few more comments. He won't be gone apparently swanning around the training ground more arrogant ever. Now, to be fair, obviously, I know, Tom, you just said that as well. What I would say about Hamshaw is he's on a no-loser anyway, because if he gets sacked, he gets a big payout. So he might be swanning around the training ground, but it could be because he's got nothing to lose. Because if he does get sacked, he just gets a massive payout and he'll get a job with his old mentor, Paul Warren. So I actually think he's got nothing to lose, personally. Ian Besley, evening all. The football club with no club shop stock is a club in crisis. Yeah, I agree. Rome, now that we've got Nombe, I'm not worried about goals. Wayne, not sure. Got to win. I think he's saying got to win all three and going for 9. Yeah, and then Rome defense is a massive worry. So Wimbledon at home is the first game. They are, as Adam's already said it, they're 17th in the league. Their last 5 games, they've won 1, drawn 1, and lost 3. Their manager is Johnny Jackson, who obviously he's been there a long time, a good 4 or 5 years. Took them up from League 2 after about 2 or 3 attempts. I think they were always going to be a club who would be struggling near the bottom of League 1. That's not a surprise. They've not got a big budget, if you like a Rotherham or a Barnsley or a Cardiff or whatever. Now, I did have a quick look on Flash Scores to see what tactic they played. And the last 2 games, according to Flash Scores, they actually do seem to change tactic quite a lot depending on who they play. So in one of the games, they played like a 4-1-3-2, which is something we played under Steve Evans to some extent. And then they swapped from that into a back 3 and played 3-5-2. So it does look like they're quite adaptable, which is a little bit of a concern. They've scored 27 goals, which is joint 18th in the league, so quite low down. However, they've only conceded 34, which puts them at 15th. So considering they're a team who look like they're going down, that's not too bad of a start, actually. And the top goal scorer is a winger called Marcus Brown. He played for Oxford at this level a couple of years ago, and he scored 6 goals. So it looks like they're a team who don't score many, and they don't concede. Sorry, don't score many, and they don't concede too many. So this is going to be a low-scoring game. So, Tom, after giving you all those stats, what's your thoughts on Wimbledon? Does that scare you? Does it give you more optimism? What do you think?
No, look, listen, right? So if we're going off what Matt said when all the players are back, and Matt Hamshaw, in my opinion, and like you say, he's not bothered if he gets sacked or he stays because he gets paid either way, doesn't he? Look, I think the game plan is you're on our turf, you're at New York, right? Let's go and have a go. Let's go and put them away early. Right? When it comes to stats, there's certain things in stats, but I think on any given day, a game has to be played, and you can go manipulate such stats. Listen, look, we need to win at all costs on Saturday. I don't care how we win, but do you know what? As a bonus, right? If we win and have a performance, I'll be absolutely ecstatic, because then I'll start to think, right, hang on, these lads here, they're playing for this manager, and we've got a bit of fight in us. Win the game on Saturday, results go his way, we're maybe 2 points off getting out of relegation. Go again Tuesday. Winning breeds confidence. If we get 6 points out of the next 2 games, there's no reason why we can't go heads held up high. Right, let's go and smash these as well. 9 points. On the flip side of that, Bez, right, if we lose on Saturday, what the hell is going to happen?
But it's a good question, and we don't know, do we? I mean, I'm someone who, obviously, I think the manager should have already been sacked by now, but there could be an element of, on the Saturday just gone, it was a half-decent performance against one of the better sides in the division. So, that excuse doesn't wash against the Wimbledon at home, because they're one of the poorer sides in the division. So this could be almost the last game for Hamshaw. Adam, one thing that does concern me actually with this game against Wimbledon is so I don't know if you remember the reverse fixture. So we obviously played Wimbledon away. We won 1-0 at half time and we lost 2-1. Now, I remember that we almost got bullied in the second half. We were dominating the game, winning 1-0, and at second half, they started going more direct and pretty much, I felt, bullied us, and they won 2-1. Do you think there's any chance that could happen again on Saturday?
Well, of course it could. But I'm looking at Wimbledon's team. I mean, I think I'm quite knowledgeable about football. And apart from Sam Hutchinson, I don't really know any of their players. And then I've looked at budgets, and they're 24th out of 24. So they've got, if we say we're 15th on budgets for League One, they're 24th. Literally, I was looking through their players. A lot's come from non-league. A lot's come from release. They've not spent any money. They've not got much money. But yeah, I remember the game when we lost 2-1, and they were quite physical. But if it does happen, I think it's going to be an absolute disaster if we lose at home to Wimbledon. Same with Northampton.
And you're obviously, a Hamshaw fan still. Do you see him getting sacked if we lose to Wimbledon or not? Honestly.
I think no, because Northampton's coming that quick. I think he'll still, even if we lose to Wimbledon, I still think he'll be in charge for Northampton. I mean, hopefully, well, obviously we'll move on to the next one. Yeah. Okay.
Before I go on to P, let's just go through some comments. So we're up to here. So Rotherham Gaming, New York and Money. Yeah, thank you. Neil Brinton. If Rotherham doesn't get between 79 points, will Hamshaw be given his P45? Again, we've kind of discussed that, Neil. We're still not really sure. I still don't like the fact that we don't seem to get a lot of information out of the football club about anything, whether it's a transfer, whether it's what's happening with manager, what's happening with a member of staff, what's happening with an injury. We just don't seem to get the information, and it does frustrate me. Wayne Hill, I'm going 4-0. I hope you're right, Wayne. Obviously, Tom, when is round one transfer happening? We'll come on to transfers later on, Tom. King of the Patriots, where is Bushy? He left. No, he's not left. He's had a real bad cold for a couple of weeks, and he's literally got no voice. So if he were talking on here, you'd just hear him coughing consistently, and it won't be very nice to listen to. So yeah, he's still here. He's just not very well, and I'm sure when they win on Saturday, he'll be here on Monday. Don't you worry. Steve Cherry, I'm not sure if that is the Steve Cherry asking where is Bushy. Again, I've just explained Steve, but hello if that's the real Steve Cherry. Right, non-based. Well, do you remember Steve Cherry? Do you remember him? Anyone?
I think you were probably first ever game I went. I think were it Billy Mercer or Steve Cherry were it now? One at two.
Well, Billy Mercer, early 90s. Billy Mercer got sold around 93, 92, 93. So does that help you?
No? I can't remember what time. You have to ask Tomo what time.
Steve Cherry would have been like 97, 98, like 96 or 97, sorry. I would guess.
That would have been 12, so maybe,
You'll actually laugh at this, Adam, because this story involves Tom now. When you were at Millmore, right, where the tunnel was, the tunnel used to get pulled out, and you could climb the wall, right, and you could look inside tunnel, and what kids would do is climb it, and every player would come past and you'd high-five him. Anyway, Tomo was on the wall looking in, and Steve Cherry walked past, and he went, boo, like that, and Tomo fell back and hit his head. Honestly, hit his head. Nothing got said, but his mum complained about it to club. And like 2 days later, Steve Cherry had to send him like a letter or whatever saying, "Oh, I'm really sorry." And he got like a free signed football. It's a real story. Right, Chris Wright, non-Bay sounded confident in his interview. To be fair, he should be confident, non-Bay, because all the fans are so desperate for him to play every single game, and as soon as we get him back, it seems like we're going to win. I'd be confident. So yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't be. Romoff, we didn't have non-Bay first game. He'll run defence regardless. Again, yeah, that's fair point. Owen Clark, who would you like to have as next manager if it was up to you? We've had this a few times. Go on, Pete. Who would you have if you could choose?
Rowett. Gary Rowett.
Adam, you agree with Rowett?
I don't know.
Okay. Richard Wood, okay. And Tom, just quickly, just fire one off.
I've always said Savage, personally. But anyway.
Savage, okay. And there you go, Owen. Right, so before we do move on, let's just have your score prediction. So, sorry, Pete, I've not asked just you yet, have I? So, Wimbledon at home, I've just gone through all the stats. What are your thoughts on the game? Do you think it's a game we can win? Is it a must-win? What do you think?
It's a must-win game, definitely. I've just been looking at table. Wimbledon's won 9, drawn 4, lost 12. So it's either going to be a win or a loss. I can't see it being a draw.
And a low-scoring game as well?
I think we'll beat them 3-0.
3-0? Wow, okay.
Adam,
I'm just looking now. Do you know Wimbledon away? The 7th in the away standings.
That's not very ideal. That's not ideal, is it?
I know.
They
played 13 away, 17 goals. Obviously, scored 17, conceded 25, 16 points. But they're 7th in the table.
I just wonder then.
Whereas us at home, we're 20th.
I just wonder if that's because, so the reason they're 7th is because they go to games and just defend and grind out results.
Yeah,
they'll set up to draw, won't they?
Yeah, that's what I feel. And I tell you what, I think if that was the case, they turned up at New York and defended, Rotherham will win game. I think Rotherham lose it when teams come at them. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I actually think that'll suit Rotherham, yeah.
Problem with Wimbledon Saturday, obviously, if Nombe and him from Leeds start, it's going to be totally different. We haven't got Etete and Hugo, have we? So that movement behind that line, it's going to terrorise them.
Give him a rest.
No, and
I think we'll steamroll them.
And that's a great point for you, actually. And that does do me on to, actually. Before we move away from Wimbledon, Tom, what do you think the team will be? If you're manager, apparently you've got almost every player fit apart from long-term injuries. What would be your team Saturday? And just bear in mind, he's not going to change formation.
Oh, yeah,
so
Of course he's not. He's going to go with Cam Dawson in the net. One would assume Baptiste, Rafferty, and I'm hoping not Raggett, but I'm hoping Jules. Your wing backs, apparently Martha's meant to be fit. So have Martha on one side and Coletta on the other. Or is Coletta injured? No, Coletta's still in the game, isn't he?
Well, Coletta played on Saturday, didn't he, Coletta? Yeah.
He did. And then your midfield 3 will be, I'm hoping, from what his interview again, Dango, Spence, and probably Yearwood or Williams or Powell. Maybe.
Yeah. You see, you know what? I'd be disappointed if you dropped Yearwood, because I think Yearwood is the only one who's had any credit for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah,
he's steady. If
he did, drop him.
And then up front, he's depending. He's keeping his cards close to his chest. No, is Nombe okay to do 60, 70 minutes? Is he?
No, Nombe's fit. He's fit.
He's got to be fit, hasn't he?
He's fit, but is he okay to do 60, 70 minutes? Because will they start with Hugo and Gray?
No, he's saying he's starting with Nombe and Gray.
I'm sure I've read that.
He has. He said that. 100%.
Yeah, he has.
Right. Well, Nombe and Gray up front then. We'll see what happens. But as I've alluded to with yourself, guys, is that, and certainly with you, Adam, on Saturday, which was a cracking show, mate. Right, right. We can't go long with Dawson if we're playing Gray and Nombe up front. We can't do that.
And do you know what, Tom? That's a great point. Like, do you know, Adam? Do you know if he starts with Gray and Nombe, right? I've got no issue with that. If we play a direct style on Saturday, I'll be really frustrated because Hugo and Etete are both target men, and we never fed the ball into them from a direct point of view. So for me, it was whacked in the corner, and neither of them could chase it. If we start going direct to these players, I'll be really annoyed and disappointed. Right, then we've got a super chat here from Jan, 5 quid. So Jan, brilliant. Thank you very much for the super chat. There's no reason to think we will win at all. Agree. As the kind of lads have said, we almost think it's a must-win game, unfortunately. And if we didn't win, I think the manager, the club would be under immense pressure for something to change. I think that is a good point, actually. If the manager's nowhere near getting sacked and Rotherham do lose at home to Wimbledon, something has to change somewhere, because at the minute the club are just going down and down and down. And as I said a couple of weeks ago, this could carry on down to the conference if we're not careful. So something has to change, really. Don't know what it is. If it's not the manager, it could be Bob Scott. It could be a new training ground. It could be the chairman leaving. The question I've got for you, Adam, because, I don't know if it was Saturday or Monday, but, you said you'd heard a rumour about a takeover. So have you heard anything more on that? What's the latest on that?
Well, it seems to have gone a bit quiet now, which is... I know Rotherham Gaming, mate. Obviously, I've been told from someone high up in the club who sponsored them. They said a takeover should be done this week, or at least discussed this week, which was part of why Tony was on holiday. He was not always on holiday for all that time. He did spend some time in America discussing with potential consortium.
Okay.
But it seems to have gone a bit... nothing's been mentioned this week, so... I'm not
doing it, that's why.
So, that's what I was saying. I said in chat, when was the last time anyone heard from Tony? Has anybody heard from him? Last time I heard from him was that interview we did when we were live on Sky.
Yeah. Against Leeds United.
What I would say, I think you're right there, Adam, actually, because what I would say is, do you know when, the local media, when fans get onto the local media and say, we've not heard from this guy, we've not heard from that team, whatever, the local media will then go to Rotherham United and they'll request an interview with someone, whether it's Rob Scott, Tony Stewart, or Paul Douglas. And to be fair to Stewart, he's actually always done it. So every time in the past they've asked for an interview, it's always been Stewart. Now I know he's on holiday. But I did find it surprising that Douglas had to do it instead of Stewart, because that is the first time we've heard from Douglas over Stewart. So maybe there's some substance what you're saying there, Adam. I don't know. In terms of a takeover,
because he's not even. Normally Stewart would at least make an appearance somewhere on an interview for Rotherham United official channel, Radio Sheffield. He'd say something when we're live, but nobody's ever heard from him. I can't believe it must have been 6 months. Nobody's heard from him. Not a peep. I see him obviously where we sit, Dave. If you look across and up, you can see him. He's not been there for about 6 weeks.
He's not been there for a few months, yeah.
Yeah, but last time you can see him, he's obviously his big yellow coat and that yellow tie, what he wears. But he's not been there for ages. I'm wondering if he's going to be there Saturday.
He should be. He should be there Saturday because it's public knowledge that he's on holiday. He's come back. He came back last week, so he should be there. Well, we'll see, like you said. Right, a few more comments. Rotherham Gaming, Rotherham 3, Wimbledon 1. I hope you're right, Rotherham Gaming. Wayne must win. Agreed. And Wayne, I think, if I remember correctly, I think you were someone who was kind of backing Hamshaw and wanting him to stay. So let me ask you, while I go for just the comments, if we lose on Saturday, would you get rid of Hamshaw, or are you still sticking with your Hamshaw in? Just interested. Romoff, at least it's a side that aren't going to come up to us with confidence. Again, the next 3 games, you can say that. So you're exactly right, Romoff. This is a big chance to tick off a lot of points.
Same with Northampton on Tuesday. They're near us. They've not got
exactly. Team seems to thrive having a top striker like Nambe. Again, agreed. You could argue the stop 4 performance was. See, I don't think the stop 4 performance was excellent. It was just okay, in my opinion. So anyone out there who thinks that performance was good enough to go in and get wins, I actually don't think it was. I think
the second half was a lot better than the first. When Ndombe came on, and Ndombe and Spence came on, and you could tell it was a lot better. If we had Dan Gore into that, Spence, Gore, and Ndombe, I think the team's going to be a lot better.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Yeah, got to play you. Keeps getting better again. We've already discussed that. where's that gobshite King? But he's just in corner there. Can't you see him? No, he's not here. Imagine we bring in Ryan one tomorrow, and that beautifully brings me on to transfers. So before I go into the 2 transfers that it looks like we'll be signing in the next 24, 48 hours, I want to discuss our overall transfer recruitment so far in January. So we've got rid of, 3 or 4 players, including Josh Ayres, who has gone to Alfreton Town. I mean, if he's gone to that level, that just shows how far he's away from League One level. We've obviously brought 1 player in Harry Gray. So the business, from my point of view, has been absolutely horrendous. Pete, what's your thoughts on the transfer recruitment so far in January? And I'll tell you what, you can include the fact that we're signing these 2 youngsters as well. These 2 youngsters, does this make it a good window, or is it still not a good window in your opinion?
Makes it better, doesn't it? If we do sign these 2, if no goes wrong, it makes it a lot better, in my opinion. Then obviously, if we bring some more in, you don't know, do you?
Yeah, that's true. And in terms of the positions that we've targeted, do you agree with who we've targeted first? So 2 strikers and a defender.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I've heard Hamshaw say he wants a winger in. Have I read that right? I'm not sure.
Well,
he's after an exciting winger, he says. But we don't play wingers, do we?
No, so that would be very surprising, unless you're going to change formation.
He said he wants a ball carrier, so that's what I read. Can't remember where I read it. That's what I've read anyway. I mean,
I'll be surprised bringing another midfielder in. We've obviously overloaded with midfielders, really. Tom, what's your thoughts on our recruitment so far? And again, you can include these 2 who look like have signed and they will sign in the next 24 hours.
So Harry Gray, once again, I refuse to comment on a 17-year-old kid, although the club put everything on him, which I think was a wrong decision what they did. But I mean, anyway, look, I hope he flourishes. Ryan One, Sheffield United is sensible. And the lad from Norwich who's played in,
Can you pronounce his name?
Well, the lad from Norwich.
Yeah. It is. Me and Pete were trying to do it earlier. It is Adeg Boyega. Adeg Boyega is his name. That's his last name.
I'll call him the lad.
Adeg Boyega. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adeg Boyega.
Yeah. I'll call him the lad from Dundee. Right. So,
yeah. Actually, I say, Tom. Actually, that's a good point. Actually, do you know much about this lad? Having lived in Scotland, and he's from Scotland.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's a solid player. He's obviously. I don't know is this a loan or a permanent. We're getting this lad on.
I thought it was a loan. I'm not sure. I thought both One and this lad were loans.
Right. So defender. Sorry, I think it's permanent. This defender. I think
really? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
So I spoke to a friend of mine yesterday about this kid, and he said that he's solid. Basically, he's a football fan, but he won't tell me if he's a ball player, if he's a rock, all that sort of stuff. He says he's a solid young player who's played, in the Scottish Premier League. He's never had a game for Norwich. Never. Right? No. So that's why I called him the lad from Dundee. And listen, if we get him over the line, it's another young centre-half. Look, youth is okay. We got Lenny Agbare from Celtic, which I've heard good reports of him off Celtic supporters. I think if we get a centre-half in, we get this One, and obviously we've got Gray. I think the position that we are going to miss is Denzel Hall is out for 3 months, isn't he? We need someone to fill his position because by all accounts, I think Hamshaw is thinking about Jack Holmes as his replacement, which is concerning. So, listen, I think, look, the goal is staying up right now, isn't it? So let's not concede goals and let's just try and grind it out, lads. That's my opinion. So I think if we get these 2 players in and there'll be one more as a wing back, then we might be okay.
Okay, so just a couple of things from what you said there. So, your dental hall, you're right to raise that as an issue. So, my question to anyone in the chat is, would you accept Joe Rafferty playing right wing back? Because essentially, Joe Rafferty is a right back playing our position at right centre back. So, if the manager decided to go with Joe Rafferty, would you be happy with that?
He can toss the ball, can't he?
Go on, sorry.
Crosswell and Hunt just become available at Stockport. That's who I'd go for.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, I would as well. Yeah.
So you would sign Jack Hunt? I think he's too old.
Till end of season. Just till end of season.
Okay,
just for cover.
Bit of experience, Bez. Bit of experience.
Yep.
I'd rather have Jack Holmes at right wing back.
No.
Well, so I don't. You'd rather have Jack Holmes than Jack Hunt at right back.
At right wing back.
Yeah. So
I've had Rafferty first.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Rafferty's injured, I'd have Jack Holmes. No way I'd bring Jack Hunt in.
No.
Wow. Why not? Like, so just 1 minute, right? So Jack Hunt was actually really good at Rotherham when he came in on loan, right? So what don't you like about him?
Because what is he?
Yeah, he's 34, 35, yeah.
He's Tom's age, and he's just been released from. He's played no game. Well, he's played half a games at Stockport coming off bench.
He came on against us today, Adam. He came on
Jack
against
Holmes.
us.
I know Jack Holmes is not the best, but he's trying. At least he's trying.
Yeah, but his experience, though, at a minute. That Hunt came on against us last Saturday.
But yeah, and what did he do? Nothing.
They won.
I mean, to be fair, I have to agree with you because I said that I didn't want him either because he's really old. Now, someone in the chat has put that he's 35, and to me, that is really old. That so and again, what Romoff says there, I'd be concerned with our injury record that this lad would get injured. So your point, Pete and Tom, about bringing him in, experienced, nothing to lose because it's a free transfer. If we bring him in, he gets injured straight away because he's got a bad injury record. Then it's been a right waste of loan, hasn't it?
But Bez, he's one of
next week.
But Bez, he's one of them that doesn't need to train. He knows his craft. He's one of them.
Okay.
He gets to a certain age.
Yeah, but it's all the players get injured easily.
Gray could be injured next week. You know what I mean? No matter, is it? Get him in.
We've got all the young players who are injured. So,
Jack Holmes has been fit all season, hasn't he?
Oh,
Jack Holmes. I think he has to, if they've been injured.
He hasn't played all season. That's why he's fit.
I want to say
he's been available.
I think the kid's great. I love his enthusiasm, his optimism, and his effort. However, he just maybe misses that final bit of polish that makes him a player at this level.
No, it's a fantastic debate, to be fair. Right, we are going to just quickly talk about the Norwich or Dundee defender in a minute. Let me just go through some comments. So, yeah, Emmanuel Adegboyega. Yeah, so I think you spelt it wrong there, Romoff, actually, because I've got it written down in front of me. King Bush, local lad then. Yeah, born and bred in Rotherham, lad.
He's from the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, defender from Harrogate. I don't think he didn't play Harrogate. Who's that? Sorry.
There's a new one coming tonight. Apparently, we're signing tomorrow. He's called Carl Jameson. He's just cut ties with Harrogate Town in League Two.
Well, he's been released from Harrogate, and we're signing him.
Well, he's not been released. He's mutual termination of his contract in Harrogate. But he's won 70% of his aerial battles. He's a 6'4" left-footed centre half, exactly like Jules.
How old is he?
Where have you heard that rumour of him?
27.
No, sorry, where have you heard that rumour?
It's in Yorkshire Post.
Right, okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'll be honest. I've not got that on my place to talk about.
No. I can clear that one up. Leon Wobschinol from the Yorkshire Post.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah,
has posted like a thing about us signing a defender and Harrogate releasing a defender.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
it's not linked. The lad that they signed, the lad that they've released Harrogate, they hardly played him. So
yeah,
I don't know if there's
no, that's not mixed up. It's not. It's a different article.
Is it all right? Fair enough.
We'll move on anyway. We'll discuss that afterwards, right?
You didn't ask me about transfer deadline.
Sorry, I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished on transfers. Don't worry. We'll come to in a minute. Someone on Twitter said he was a solid young defender. Few mistakes, but to counter that, got a few goals in him. Agreed with that, and we're going to talk about him in a minute. I'd have preferred an experienced defender, but we always get him too old. Yeah, we never seem to get him right, do we? Like, we never get a 26, 27-year-old. It's either 22 or younger or 32 or older. But I suppose they cost a lot more than, don't they? Has him with Sheriff Cap got any knickers on tonight? I don't know if that's you, Adam, or what he's on about. Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys, mate.
Dallas Cowboys, yeah. Hunt's 55, yeah, already gone off of that, sorry. I'd rather have Trevor Berry playing right wing back, and he's 60. Jack Hunt is far too old now. Stockport fans rated him when they released him. It's not a waste of loan because he's on a free no loan, though, as you pay as you play. Right, these next 3 games are paramount. We need match points because of the position we put ourselves in. I'd ask it a lot when not won 3 Rotherham all season. Now expecting Rotherham all of a sudden. Let's say we can pull these 3 games out of the bag, get into game against top dogs Cardiff. We need English back and a few good signings, then go from here. But it's bleak as it stands at the moment. 9 from 9 and must. And Russ, I completely agree with all of that. What you said. Great comment. Yeah, I don't want to release Jack if he's cheap, good for cup games, and we could give him a short League 2 loan. I think that's Jack Holmes is talking about. And then he just relayed his mistake. So, Adam, we'll come to you then. So, we are going to discuss the 2 signings that I know, if you like, that we're signing. The lad who Tom's mentioned from Dundee and Ryan O'Neill. So, we'll come on to those in a minute. So, we've so far signed Gray. We've got rid of about 4 or 5 players. What's your thoughts on the current transfer recruitment for January?
Right, I think the current recruitment for January actually has been fantastic.
Fantastic, okay.
Absolutely fantastic. The fact that we managed to keep Dan Gore at this club when everybody's had championship interest, even being told top 5 club in the championship. The fact that Dan Gore wants to stay with a struggling League 1 side, whoever's convinced him to stay, I think is absolutely fantastic. The same with Jamal Baptiste. I think Jamal Baptiste, the fact that he's chosen to stay at Rotherham when he could have had, I mean, Baptiste is a championship defender. I bet he's not far from Sheffield United first team in next couple of 2-3 years. So I think for them 2 players to stay at Rotherham, if them 2 players had left Rotherham, obviously they could have been recalled, and it's been well noted that they could have gone. The fact we kept them, I think it's been absolutely, we couldn't have done better. We couldn't have signed any 2 better defender or centre midfielder than them 2, no matter how far we tried. That's why I think it's absolutely fantastic we kept them 2. Harry Gray, yes, he's untested. He's 17 years old. Man City wanted to buy him for 40 million. There must be something about him. I think he needs more games. Him and Ndombe, I think, will do well. Ryan O'Neill, I've not seen much about him. I know he's from Scotland as well, ain't he, Tom? He come from Kilmarnock.
Hamilton, yeah.
Hamilton, yeah.
Did he score against us last season?
He scores on that friendly, Bez. Were you there when Sheffield United beat us 5-0?
Oh, Ryan O'Neill, wasn't he?
I saw him score. He will look good. I mean, he's on the verges because I know apparently Wilder says they want to bring in another striker. I mean, they're absolutely loads of players then, but they want to bring in somebody else to with Bamford and whoever they've got, that Tom Cannon and who else, the other guy. Yeah. But they want to bring in one more striker, and then they'll let Oney come to either us or Doncaster or Barnes. I think he wanted to be local, so he can still train with them 2 days a week. And yeah, just the other guy I saw today in the Yorkshire Post, it was that he's been released, or his mutual termination from Harrogate. He's called Carl Jameson.
Adam,
like
Adam,
27.
Adam, I think it's nonsense. They've released him because he's not very good.
I hope it's nonsense. Can you imagine if we pick him now? Leave the ball.
I think it is. It's a Yorkshire Post article, Adam. Liam Wobbs, how do you pronounce his name? Liam Thingy.
What I'm going to do, Tom, I want you to respond to Adam's comments there. Now, to be fair to Adam, I think he raises a couple of really good points, like Dango and Jamal Baptiste. I think Baptiste has been good as well. So I want you to reply or respond to Adam's comments there, where he's saying it's a fantastic transfer window so far from Rotherham. Go for it. Right. And I'm going to look the article now while you do that.
Right. So Adam should be head of propaganda for Rotherham United. I'll tell you what, and do you know what? You make a great point, Adam. It's been a fantastic transfer window that we've managed to keep two players that we've loaned for the season.
No, but remember, every loan's different. They both could have gone back.
And look, I said a few months back, and everybody will remember, that I didn't think we'd be able to keep Dango in January. I genuinely thought we would not be able to keep him. However, I think what's gone in our favour is that Dango has had an injury, right? So that's why we've kept Dango. My personal opinion. Jamal Baptiste, right? Yes. I think he's been fantastic. And I think if I was Chris Wilder or head of talent and loans at Sheffield United, we're thinking, right, I want my defender to be up against it every week and defending, right? Defending. And guess what? He's literally 4 miles down the road at Rotherham. Why would we recall him and send him to somewhere else in League One or somewhere else in the Championship? It's not going to happen. So I totally get what you're saying, Adam. It's a great result keeping both of them. It is. Trust me, but I don't think it's for the reasons that we think it's great recruitment. Harry Gray, signed him. Look, I refuse to speak about him because he's a 17-year-old kid, right? So I'm not going to say anything about him. And then if we get One and Mick Dundee, right? Crocodile Dundee, right? I think it'll be a decent window, but I also certainly think we need a right wing back. So, but Adam, I love your spin. I think it's fantastic. Love it.
Is it not true though? If Dango went, would that not be? We could not get a better midfielder if we tried than Dango. When he's fit.
Yeah. I think both are out of contract at the end of the season.
Agreed, Adam.
I'm sure they're both out of contract as well.
Well, there you go.
It is interesting because you've at the end of the day, we've kept these two loan players, and you've got Adam who is trying to find as many positives as he can, and I admire that personally because we're at the minute we're in the worst. We're probably watching one of the worst, arguably, Rotherham seasons, especially the last 15 years. And I don't think fair to be still looking at the positives, and there are always positives in any situation. Whereas Tom, obviously, the comments that you're making are almost like we've been lucky to keep these players on loan, because you said that Baptiste has stayed because it's local, and then you said Dango because he's been injured, and therefore they've not kind of sent him on to another club kind of thing. So it is, I'd say it is interesting to listen to the debate. Now, Adam, what I am going to say is I have found the article, and Tom is completely right. Because
Paul Davis
says Hamilton defender Kyle Jameson has left League Two strugglers at the expiry of his contract, right? And then further down it says, meanwhile, Rotherham United are closing in on a defensive breakthrough to sign Norwich City centre-half Emmanuel Adek-Veiga. So yeah, we're not signing that Jameson, thankfully.
Oh no,
he couldn't get it. Yeah, well, you look yourself, Adam. I've just read it, honestly. I've read the one from Liam Wobbs from
That's
Yorkshire,
the
from
one.
your post. So yeah, right. Let's just move on. Let me get through some comments. Feels like Baptiste has an eye on stuffing. Maybe I'm being naive. Again, I would say it all depends on what division we're in. I don't think Gordon will stop at all. I think, like Adam says, he'll get a championship move. I think Baptiste has a chance, but we have to be in League One for that to happen. Russ wants you to get us a can out of fridge, please, pal. That's to you, Tom.
Go on, Russ. Good luck.
Full Ramage, and never mind the football. When are we going to sort the catering out? That's by far worse. And Paul, yeah, it is another negative on the club.
Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It is. Me and Adam actually sit in the same stand. And if we want a beer, we have to leave before the 40th minute to get one. Otherwise, we'll not get one. The problem is Stuart doesn't care because he gets fixed costs. So it doesn't matter if they sell 100 millions of pints or just 1 pint. He gets the same amount each week or each month or each year, whatever it is. So he's not going to do anything about it, I'm afraid, which is frustrating to us. This has been an ongoing issue for, 10 years. So, yeah, not sure what else to say. Paul Davis on Adam's table, yeah. Adam, he's not signing for us yet. That's all right. We've kind of confirmed that now. Kelly Forward, remember, we haven't got any money, Tom. We haven't got any money, Tom, apparently. I don't know what that's aiming at, but we haven't got any money, I don't think, according to Rob Scott's kind of interview. And as far as we go, because out of contract end of season, that man you haven't cashed in. Now, what you could say is, because a lot of people have said that that Man U will offer Gordon a contract and they'll sell him, right? No one's thought about Man U think he's not good enough for their team, so he's going to get released. You know, how many times do you see it where a player's out of contract and a club offers him a contract just to sell him? I don't think it ever happens. So I think Gordon will go and he will go to a championship club.
Because Man U will still get compensation because he's been brought up in their youth academy.
I don't know how it works. I think you have to be under a certain age to get that. How old is Gore? Is he 21?
You have to be, I think it'd be 21 and under.
It could be 21 and under, you're right. But he has to be under a certain age for that to go to a tribunal. So you're right. Man
U've got their own problems, aren't they? They don't know where they are. They're all over it, sure. Obviously, Evans, who are watching him, he's now assistant coach, and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. And I imagine Dan goes on their list of we'll deal with that a lot later on. It's not important, is it, for him? Yeah.
Do you want my prediction on Dan Gore? He will end up signing for, if they get promoted, Stockport County.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah. It's all because that are local players and local. It's all because that are local and players the clubs have no intention of keeping. I'm not really sure what we're talking about there. Mick Dundee. Love Adam's background. Always got your team. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, King Hammy's club as well. And then King Bush go wants to stay at Rotherham permanently. I really hope you're right. If we're in League Two, there's absolutely zero chance he stays.
Zero chance.
I really hope you're right, Lee, but I just can't see it.
We can't afford him.
We've kind of jumped backwards and forwards. I want to go into these two signings quickly. So I'm going to just tell you about these players who we are signing. So Emmanuel Adegboyega, he was at Dundee United, which were a Premier League club, played 31 times. Now, one thing I've noticed is he scored 3 goals in 31. Now, that's actually a good rate for a centre-back. So I hope he's good at attacking corners, because we haven't scored from a defender attacking a corner what seems like forever. So that's positive. He signed for Norwich. He's 6'3". He had been at Walsall last season, I believe, when they were, running away with league, and obviously they faltered. I think they faltered towards the end. I don't really know what happened. And he originally came from Drogheda. He's an Irish guy, this kid. He's been involved in the Irish under 21s. And then the other one is Ryan One, Sheffield striker, only 19, signed from Hamilton. He scored only 2 goals in 21, though, for Hamilton, so not great. Apparently, he turned down Brighton to move to Sheffield United. Now, I want to put that in there because Brighton are normally really good at spotting young lads. So if Brighton have been interested, that's got to be a good sign. He scored 1 for Sheffield United in professional play, and he's described as a towering physical striker. Now, Pete, I'll come to you first. My concerns are that it's another young lad. So our strike force on Saturday could be a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old. Obviously, it won't be, but it could. But from what I've said, does that sound like a good sign in your opinion?
Yeah, it could go other way, couldn't it? It could be loads of energy. 2 young lads running about, running at players. Same with Nombe. He runs at players, doesn't he? Opens space up for defenders, then, Gray might slip in a goal. It could work in either way, couldn't it?
Did you say you watched the Sheffield game? Did you go to the Sheffield friendly?
The friendly, yeah. I'm sure he scored.
So,
I'm sure he scored, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored. I
was going to ask you, so between Pete and Adam, obviously it's a long time ago, but do you remember anything about him from the game?
It reminds me of that Sheriff we had. Similar statue to Sheriff, innit?
Right, okay. So this is it's arguably like a like-for-like replacement of Martin Sheriff then.
Yeah. No, he's not. He's a lot slimmer
than Adam. Go on then, Adam.
He's a lot slimmer than Martin Sheriff. He's a lot slimmer.
Okay, so what's he going to give us, Adam?
I think because he'll come off the right. I think. I mean, if he signs, I think obviously he'll start Gray and Nombe, but obviously Nombe might get tired 70 minutes in. You bring him on. He's a bit rangy up front. He's tall. He knows where the net is. He's a young lad. He's got plenty of energy. I'm just thinking for that. I think Hugo's spent now. I think he's done for us. Unfortunately, I think we put him to retire.
Right. Do you know what I'm going to do, Harry? Right. Do you know the next time you're on a podcast with me, right? I'm going to bet you £10 that you can't not go a whole podcast without having to go with Hugo, and we'll see if you can do it. Because, I don't know why you like to diss out. It's almost like, because I know he's not done very well. We all accept that, right? Yes, he's got reasons why he's not done well, but at the end of the day, he's not done very well for a couple of years. But it's not Hugo's fault, that we're in this position. We're not second bottom because Jordan Hugo's not playing well, Because it seems like that's what you believe.
No.
Honestly, we don't mention Hugo, right? And the first time we talk about a striker and you give out. I think now Hugo, I think if Ayres stayed, Hugo would have been the 5th choice. But I think now, obviously, Gray, Nombe, One, Hugo with 4th choice. And I think that's why he's took Ayres out on loan now. Okay. But no, I just think Hugo is. When he first signed, I was so hopeful because I thought. I remember before he signed, he came on against us from Norwich. I thought this big lad he's going to be so strong and good. And we got him last transfer, the last transfer window.
He kept us up though, Adam. He kept us up.
And he was good in Championship. That goal he scored against Southampton. But I just think this last year especially. He doesn't seem to know what's going off his floor. If you look at who runs the least out of every Rotherham player, it's him.
It won't be Hugo. I disagree with that. I don't think it is.
You're not seeing a Tete run.
If you look at the least rated player according to Flash Score, it's Jordan Hugo.
I don't buy into stuff like that. Well, I think Jordan Hugo will be absolutely massive, right? Between now and the end of the season for these 2 young lads, One and Gray, right?
That's a good point, yeah.
Along with Nombe. He's going to be massive for them because I think Hugo, believe it or not, is a team player and he'll get in their ears and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. Do you know what I mean? So, look, love Hugo or hate Hugo, he is here until the end of the season, right? And his experience is going to be massively valuable going forward.
I think Hugo would have scored a lot more goals if Nombe were playing more.
Yeah.
That's me personally.
Yeah, agreed.
Agree, Adam, with that or not?
Disagree.
Okay,
I think there's also a reason why he's been stripped of the captaincy. He was captain, now he's not even the captain above. McWilliams has got it, and then it's going. Probably Raggett's got in front of him. No, I just don't think he's on the level. I think Port Vale will get relegated, and he'll sign for Port Vale in League Two next year.
Which is fair enough, but I think his experience is going to be massive for these youngsters.
I don't agree. No, I disagree.
I see two things I was going to say, like on your point there, Tom. We've all been kind of sat here for the last couple of weeks wondering how we've kind of got the Harry Gray lad. And I just wonder if that what you just said there, Tom, because someone mentioned it. I don't know if it was Adam or if it was someone in the comments or someone I heard on social media. And they said, I wonder why that Harry Gray didn't go to Doncaster, because they've got Billy Shaw, who's the best championship player ever, and he can train this lad to be a goal scorer. But he's not. He's come to Rotherham. And I just wonder if, like, they've seen that Hughel's there. And no matter what you like about him or not, Adam, Jordan Hughel has been a consistently championship player. So he's a better player than Rotherham have been in the last 10, 15 years. That is a fact, right? It is a fact. Yeah? Go on, Adam.
Yeah. What I'll say is, Harry Gray's interview when he first went to training ground, what he said were, it was Sam Ndombe that welcomed me to the club.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was watching him. So I think Hugel's the main man. He's the experience. Why is Hugel not saying come in, welcome? He said it was Sam Ndombe.
Adam, you can't say that because you're watching.
That's not what Harry Gray said, not me.
I know, but I'm
not saying that.
I know, but Harry Gray, you mentioned Ndombe, like, and not mention Hugel, doesn't mean he doesn't think Hugel's not a very good player. Did he mention Dan Gore? Did he mention Dan Gore? No. So he must be a player.
Dan Gore weren't there. He was back at Man U training, weren't he? Rehabilitation.
Yeah, Adam, you've got to remember. You've got to remember this club. The last couple of weeks has focused everything. Another podcast that does Rotherham and us and everybody else saying that without Sam Ndombe we're knackered. So they're always going to focus on talking about Sam Ndombe, so they're going to coerce him into talking about Sam Ndombe. I'm not saying this is true or this is false, but look, I think Hugel for the rest of this season, his experience, whether he gets 10 minutes, 45 minutes, 70 minutes, is going to be huge in our survival fight. Just my opinion, mate.
I agree.
Okay, right. Let's just look at some comments. We are close to finishing. We've gone over an hour now. So Paul Ramage, players run their contracts down deliberately now, so they get more in wages instead of TG club getting transfer fees. Yeah, the club getting transfer fees. Yeah, you're right, Paul. And again, that could be another reason why Dan Gore is running his contract down. Had it from reliable sources, family love it at the club. He would love to stay. It's down to us, but he's not on big money. Yeah, again, I'd love that to happen, but I just can't see it still. Romo, that Kim Lee Bush is talking about Gore.
No chance, absolutely no chance.
Yeah. Delmoff, we ain't scored because we can't beat first round from set pieces. Yeah, that is fine. Yeah, it's no good. Don't matter how good you are in air when we can't beat first round. I completely agree with you. He destroyed his pre-season for Blaze. It's a cracking signing. So that is Ryan One. So again, Lee Bush actually agrees we had him here. I'm going to fade it in a minute. Jesus. Realm off, if strikers are attacking defenders, that's when Spence can slip in and score. Yeah. Ryan One is quick, strong, powerful, will cause issues. Hope you're right. We're second alongside defending is Shocking and Dawson is dog meat. Yeah. Yep. I don't think no one likes Dawson, do they, on this? No.
He's a good shot stopper, but that's about it.
I know, I find every goalkeeper is a good shot stopper these days.
Exactly, it's the job. It's the job.
Yeah.
You know, though, one quick thing. Josh Vickers has not played a game for Derby for until November 2025. They've got two new keepers in, and I'm thinking, why not go for Vickers? Yeah. When Vickers were with us, and him and Victor were battling out for first place, I thought, because I was looking today, I'm thinking.
I think with Vickers, Adam, he lost his wife, didn't he?
That were a year ago, and he's played games since, and he's been back since.
Maybe he just wanted a comfortable lifestyle. I don't know if he's got kids. Maybe he just wanted to have that third choice thing. And
we did well. Yeah, Vickers left when Johansson was still number one, so he may have been told by Warne at the time, "Look, come to me, and I'll make you number one." And to be fair to Warne, I think he was number one for a little bit.
He was.
So from his point of view, he's moved from a team where he's second choice to a team where he's first choice. So it does make sense. It's just that ever since Warne's left, he's obviously not been number one.
Yeah, but they had Richard O'Donnell number one the other night. Richard O'Donnell's our age, 39.
Well,
he's come from Grimsby, and Vickers is still.
Yeah, I think he goes to clubs, doesn't he, because of registration. That's why Man City have like Scott Carson. It's just for registration purposes.
He played in some of Vickers. That's what I'm saying. Can't we get Vickers in? Even on loan, he's better than Dawson at 1,000% better than Dawson.
He'll get a contract end of season, so maybe. Maybe.
Oh, Vickers back tomorrow. Vickers back tomorrow.
Agreed, yeah. Tom Smith, doesn't help Hamshaw's football is shite and the team can't pass or cross give him service. Jan Hughley's pants. He has played with so many strikers in so many positions. I'm sure Adam would agree. Hughley has half a dozen good games for us in 4 seasons. His wages been a joke. Again, Adam would agree. Adam, your background is annoying me with that fraud behind you.
I've changed it, mate. Change it, Hughley.
I think you didn't have to, Adam. You could have left it. Hughley's only scored 17 goals at 126.
Yeah, exactly. 8 grand a week for that.
Yeah. Andy CFC, I wonder if he's a Chesterfield fan, I'm not sure. Hughley's been National League level for the last year. He's world class, falling over and doing nothing.
Yep, totally agree.
He does.
What's going on here?
Yeah. Ian, do you think that Hugo would make a good prospect to come off the bench and mix things up?
Yes, I do. I do think that.
Yeah. Nobody backs Hugo either. Remember, once people start backing Eves instead of taking Fist. And I have to say, I agree with this. Like, Tom Eves was a far worse striker than Jordan Hugo. Every time he came on, we'd go, Eves is over brilliant. That really wound me up, actually. So I agree with that.
He scored more than Hugo.
You want to bet on that?
I'd rather have Eves or Hugo now.
Yeah, Hugo, 1,000%, yeah. 1,000%. Because
he scored more than Hugo.
In his career?
Well, when he was at Rotherham, surely.
Well, no, Hugo's got more. He's only got about 3 goals for Rotherham, you know. Hugo's got 17.
He's injured for about 8 months, wasn't he, that time when he come?
Yeah, he was terrible. One of Rotherham's worst of the players, I felt. That was my fault. You don't rate Eves, surely, Adam, do you? You don't rate Eves.
Please, I would have Eves instead of Hugo, yeah.
Bloody hell. Right, okay. Until we start covering the wings and tracking plays, we will be continuing goals every game. Yeah, agree, Andrew. All the teams that are near top of their respective leagues play a 4-4-2 system. Can't believe we play a back 3 when we're getting destroyed down the wings. And again, the second part of that, the fact that fans can see that we are getting, we are getting targeted on the wings, and the teams who are playing 4-backs are overlapping, and it's 2-on-1 all the time. That is frustrating. I do agree with you there.
Agreed.
Yeah, if Malta plays Saturday, might as well play 10 men. Wimbledon, most physical team. And you know what, Tom? We've said this at the start of this podcast. I'd be disappointed if Malta did start because of that, because they are a physical side, and Malta is really weak. So yeah, completely agree. Romoff, he banked 6 in Eves when we stopped taking this end up top goal scorer.
Exactly.
I don't know if that was 1 season. I think that's over like 3 seasons. I think they'll Romoff into it. Right, okay. So I was going to talk about Northampton, so we'll quickly just go over at Northampton game. So I'll spend 5 or 10 minutes because we've got quite a lot of views at the minute. We've got over 300 people watching us, so I will review Northampton. Yeah, we have, yeah. Northampton are 21st in league. The last 5 games is win 0, draw 2, lose, lost 3. Obviously, Kevin Nolan's their manager. They play a 3-4-3 system. They scored 23 goals, which is the second lowest in the league. So even Rotherham scored more goals than them. They've conceded 30 goals there, which is actually 9th best. So again, another team who will come to Rotherham and defend, and it won't surprise me if that game were 0-0. Now, they've got 2 top goal scorers on 4 goals. Both players played for Rotherham United. I open the floor and see who can get the 2 players.
That
First
little
one
lad
that wins.
That little lad up front, what's he called?
Not telling you.
From Southampton, wasn't he?
I'm still not telling you.
Oh,
We've
what's
already
his name?
mentioned him like 2 seconds
Just
ago.
mentioned him 2 minutes ago. Eves.
Yeah, that's one. And who's the other one of him? Who's the other
That other
one?
lad. That little one.
You got to get his name.
He's right. I love from Southampton.
There's
Sam
2.
Hoskins.
Oh, well done, Adam. Sam Hoskins. That's it. Yeah.
That's him.
Pete
That's him.
mentioned him. Pete said him.
Oh, did you? Yeah, he didn't say the name, did you? I just said I'll play from Southampton. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Apologies, Pete, if you'd say it, I didn't realise. So, yeah, Sam Hoskins and Tom Hughes, their top goal scorers. So,
Can you imagine if Eves comes on, bangs in an header, and loses 1-0?
he's just come on for the last 3 games against Rotherham and done F all. He has to there. So, just a short answer from all of you. Pete, thoughts against Northampton. They seem to be a worse team than Wimbledon, so it's an even more important game. Do you think we'll win that game? And if so, how will we win the game?
2-0.
Who's going to score? Who's scoring?
Nombi both.
Okay. Adam, Northampton at home. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to go. I think it depends on Wimbledon results. Obviously on Saturday, I think if we get a win against Wimbledon, we'll carry the momentum. And I think Harry Gray and Ryan Nonny 2-1. Tommy Eves will go for them.
And Tom, thoughts on
I love how Adam's got a player we've not signed yet scoring the goals. I love this.
yeah, that is funny to me. Yeah, it'd be funny like you weren't here. Yeah. Oh god.
Right. Yeah.
You've got to be optimistic, mate. You've got to be optimistic. In these days and times when everybody's struggling and the country's falling apart, Labour government's taking every here, there, and everywhere. You've got to be positive.
To be fair, before you answer Tom, I didn't like. I know you get a lot of stick in the comments and stuff, but the fact that you have stayed positive and you made the positive comments regarding Keith Gore and Baptiste, I think it's admirable. I really do think it is. You should continue to be positive. I mean, some people might call it psychotic, but we do call it positivity on this channel. So sorry, Tom.
Adam, you should be part of another podcast. I'd love you on there. But anyway, no, I'm going to go with, and we have to win, and it's there for the taking, isn't it? Depending on the result on Saturday, if we win Saturday, which I hope we do, I'm going to go.
We've got to.
We've got to, Adam, 100%. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to Rotherham. And Cristiano Ronaldo to get their 3rd. He don't play for us. We've not signed him yet. So.
Very funny. And just on your first comment, it cost another podcast $500,000 to take Aaron from us. Don't you worry. That's how much he's worth. $500,000. You don't realise that everyone else is worth $1 million, but he's worth 500. No, I'm only joking.
Yeah,
right.
I'll be on there Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just quickly go through the remaining comments, and then we will finish there. So, Tom Swift, Eves had a nice ponytail. He did. I think that's why I don't like him. Obviously, fancies him. Romoff, 300 getting lads. Yeah, brilliant. So. Everyone who's watching, we really appreciate it. The channel is really growing, and I have to say, some of the views we're getting on some of our videos, 4,000 and 5,000, is absolutely brilliant. And we love everyone who comes on and comments and likes and subscribes and all that. And it honestly does make it worth doing. It takes a lot for us to come on and do 2 videos a week when our team are absolutely useless and they're going down and everything at the club's terrible. It really does. Sometimes you just want to fob it off. But because we're getting so good of views and all the comments are brilliant and everything, we really do appreciate it. Rotherham Gaming, so yeah, Hoskins, you are Sam Hoskins. Sam Hoskins, yep, correct. Rotherham Gaming 2-0. Hope you're right. Scott Kent's gone 1-1. Jesus. Lee Bush 5-0. Lee's always going big games, big scores. Wimbledon will turn us over 3 at back. Well, I hope not. Eves, yeah. He'll score the winner. That's what Adam said. Sorry?
I didn't say he'll score the winner, but I said he will score.
Yeah. Burton are losing at Lincoln. I've got the game on next to me. Keep it going, Adam. Brings it all together on here, pal. It does, and that's why we love having Adam on. Please, Adam listens to everyone's opinion. Doesn't just say you're wrong. Yeah, there you go, Adam. It's all love for you tonight, Adam.
Adam. Oh.
Yeah. Have you been paying some of these or what, Adam?
It wasn't like that the night, though.
God, there's another one here. Keep on here, Adam. You made my day on Saturday. Yeah. Honestly, Adam, I think you're the most popular person on this podcast. I really do.
Adam, we are live. We are live, pal. We are live.
Yeah. Right then, that is it. So I want to thank you again, all of you, for watching. As I said, we've got up to like 330 at one bit watching us. That is absolutely brilliant, tremendous. Pete, Tom, Adam, as always, I love you taking the time out to join this podcast, and we do have a good laugh, to be fair, when we're on it. So I'm sure you get as much out of it as the comments and the fans do and what have you. So yeah, thanks for that. We will be next live on Monday for a Millers Monday. There's another live show tomorrow, which is the Premier League Fantasy show, which is every Friday. That's on the KV Terrace Talk channel. I think we'll have a live reaction on Saturday. I don't know, Tom, can you confirm that? Yeah,
I can definitely do that. Depends on Bush's voice.
It does, yeah, that's true. That does depend on if Lee's voice is all right. But if he's all right, I'm sure he'll do a live one. And then, as I said, Monday will be Millers Monday. Yeah, Lee, that is confirmed. No, we are live Saturday. So there you go. We are live Saturday. So again, everyone, thank you for joining. And as we always say, up the Millers. See you all Saturday for free. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, everyone. Bye.